Welcome back to Shadow of the Colossus. Now that we've had our obligatory opening cutscene stuff out of the way, we're going to more or less be doing 2, maybe 3 Colossi per part going forward. Yay!
Watch Wanderer wander. Watch Wanderer jump.
I would call this a boss rush game, but there's so much languid time between bosses that it's more like
And there is a boss rush mode, so...
it's more like a boss stroll through the park.
Is that yellow thing your health?
Why
That's your grip
on
meter, actually.
Earth? Why on earth do you ride your horse up and down the stairs into the temple?
Because
Well,
you
why
can,
not?
that's why.
Gotta give the horse a workout. Besides, the miles and miles of running it's already doing in the field.
Do you ever feed that thing?
No.
No.
Oh, poor horse.
The horse, thankfully, is completely invincible in every way.
Why isn't the horse fighting the Colossi?
Because it doesn't have hands!
Ted, that's ridiculous.
A horse can't climb.
Yeah. Now, go fight the 50-foot Colossi.
The aggro is still very clunky as far as horse controls go. He kind of just very stiffly goes where he wants for the most part. Especially in more enclosed areas of the map.
I feel it's been a thing since, early PS2 eras. Like, hey, let's not have the horses control like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Where you could pretty much turn on a dime. Let's try and at least be realistic with it, with varying results.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the horse too much in Shadow
No,
of the
because
Colossus.
you don't really need to be precise because there's nothing going on in the overworld.
and the spaces are pretty wide open.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of games stop at just giving the horse really tankish controls, like the Elder Scrolls games did, where you can sort of hit a gas pedal and the horse will go forward, and you have to steer it, rather than it being a fully analog controlled thing.
I love the image of a horse having a gas pedal.
And that's basically what it controls like.
Dude, how about I need to show you then, oh crap, what's the Capcom Dynasty Warriors game? The Sengoku Basara. Date Masamune basically has giant motorcycle handlebars attached to his horse.
What?
Man, Red Dead Redemption 2 looks great.
I'd play it.
Yeah, it's only in more recent times that we got to focus on trying to make the horses act a bit like animals in games, which was a thing in Breath of the Wild, where the horse would fight you if it was untamed, or it would independently swerve around trees, because that's something a horse would do.
You can, if you're on a path, you can let go of the control stick entirely in Breath of the Wild, and it'll just follow the path.
In The Witcher 3, you can hold down a button, and your horse will just independently follow the road, and you can sort of semi-passively hold the analog stick to the left as you reach a fork in the road, and it will take the left path. It's actually pretty relaxing to ride a horse in The Witcher 3.
I hear the same cannot be said, though, for Red Dead Redemption 2, because I've been hearing stories of people smacking into carriages or just trees in general.
Yeah, apparently there's a cinematic mode in Red Dead Redemption 2 where the camera will pan around in all kinds of dynamic angles while you're riding the horse through the landscape, but they didn't program it very well, so while cinematic mode is active, you're prone to collide with things. Some of those things turn hostile if you collide with them. And some of those hostile things might potentially have guns.
Why are there so many ostriches?
Oh, I love this music track so much.
The beginning sounded like Castlevania, actually. Oh, okay, hold on.
funny.
I just
It's
saw the
funny.
hooves, and I got Pikmin 3 flashbacks to that one
It's,
boss. And,
It's funny that you bring up Castlevania in this context.
Oh, yeah, because Lord of Shadows.
Lords of Shadow totally ripped off Shadow of the Colossus for most of its big boss fights, yeah.
Hit the giant glowy fuck me lights.
No, not just hit the giant glowing fuck me lights. Climb all over the giant monster and hit the fuck me spots. Yeah, that's basically what it was.
What's interesting about this game from the artistic standpoint we were bringing up earlier, the early game Colossi more or less are happy to just ignore you and let you do your thing.
I think it's because most of the time they don't even notice you're there.
Yeah, but that's an interesting not only way to make game balance, it also works from a narrative perspective, which is easier said than done in a lot of other instances.
Yeah, because you've been later on. You've killed Colossi already. You've made yourself a threat. They're more, aggressive about their survival after that point. It's as
I
if
don't
they
remember.
know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Do the Colossi communicate with each other?
Yeah.
Because
We don't really find out.
down.
We don't really find out much about them, other than their basic purpose
Well,
in
again,
regards
that's
to
just
the
part
world.
of the lore that you have to interpret for yourself. But I'd imagine, like, when 2 are down, it's like, hey, this is Dickhead that's going around killing us.
What is their purpose in the world then?
Do you want spoilers?
Okay, well, if it's spoilers, sure.
Well, I mean,
Honestly,
if you're watching this, I'm
sure, because
assuming.
we're going to be talking about
Other stuff, yeah.
astrology by the time we actually get
Okay.
to that plot point going on.
Basically, the Dorman spirit thing that was talking to us to help us revive our dead girlfriend is evil.
Oh, no shit.
Unsurprisingly. Yeah, so basically the Colossi are the 16 scattered remnants of Dorman's body. Killing them is basically helping revive a quote-unquote dark god.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Which is why the Colossi are there, because they're supposed to be hard to kill, so you can't revive the dark god.
Okay.
In a way, they're protectors to make sure no one does revive the god.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling that the evil the ominous voice was probably evil the whole time.
Okay, when was the last time a ominous voice was ever benevolent?
The Bible, presumably.
That depends on your interpretation of God.
Yeah.
I mean, are we talking about the old Bible or the new one?
I like the remake of the Bible a little bit better personally, but it does.
Yeah.
Some.
I mean, I guess Igor in Persona is not exactly evil some of the time.
Well, he's not just an ominous voice. He actually appears to you, shows you his very questionable face, and
Yeah, but you don't see him all the time, at least not to start out with.
I'm talking about from beginning to end, a voice that you just hear. You never see like a body.
Dragon Quest Builders, there's a spirit that talks to you, and they're kind of a dick, but they're still the spirit of light and good.
They mean well.
Do
Yeah.
you count in Super Paper Mario?
The spirit that
enchiladas.
watches us all will understand that, Ryan.
so all this corruption that's going into our main character. Don't tell me that the Dark God will revive himself in the player's body.
How did you know?
Well,
It's almost like you played this game before, or at least watched a Let's Play.
I haven't played that far into it. It's interesting, but also depressing.
Not everything needs to be a happy ending.
Yeah, I know.
I'm speaking, not directed specifically to you, but just in general.
Oh yeah, some people get really, really, really pissy about their unhappy endings and things. The thing that comes to mind when thinking about this is actually the failed Prince of Persia reboot, where at the end, your partner, whatever her name is, what was her name? I'm trying to remember her name.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name, which is
My next foe is Mike Tyson. What?
which is
Oh, I'm sorry,
embarrassing.
Mr.
because
Dream.
She accompanies you through the entire game, and I feel like I really should remember her name, but it's been so long since I played Prince of Persia 2008. She dies, and the last thing your main character does is go around killing some trees so that he can revive her. The price being that the Dark God Ahriman is released, and yeah...
Oh, they played this game.
That's note for note the exact same plot. Yeah.
Well, the last 2 minutes of the game are the exact same plot, anyway. So this goes on to a horrible DS game that no one liked, and then we don't know what happens next because they abandoned that reboot.
Oops.
But presumably, the prince's girlfriend hates him forever, and the world ended. So, yeah.
And that's that.
Did they ever make it? Have they made another Prince of Persia game since, or no?
Forgotten
no.
Sands, actually.
Oh, Forgotten
they made
Sands.
Forgotten Sands, which is sort of a Sands of Time midquel kind of game that wasn't really consequential to anything. They just made it as a movie tie-in. It's a good game, though. Actually, it's two good games because they made a completely different one for the Wii. But yeah, it's a good.
I really
good
need to get back
pair
to. I really need to get back to do Sands of Time again sometime.
Maybe your game will let you finish it. Who knows?
It was like, if they say to this day your character's still spinning.
I mean, I will say I liked Forgotten Sands, the PS3 version anyway, a hell of a lot more than Prince of Persia 2008. It was basically Sands of Time with some new mechanics, which, is about what I wanted from a Prince of Persia game. Wasn't really a big fan of the mix-ups they tried in Warrior Within, to say nothing of the tone. And
Warrior Within was trying way too hard to be combat focused because that was all the rage.
And the Two Thrones was fun. I enjoyed the Two Thrones, but I still think Sands of Time was a bit better overall.
I just noticed that you passed by the second Colossi.
Yeah, the corpses stayed there if you go back to the same area.
The corpse stayed there, but the corpse looks like it's been...
It's a hollowed out husk, yeah.
Yeah, I mean... No, not just hollowed out, but it's also like covered in sand. It's like I would think that would take a long time for that to happen.
Something to think about.
It's like when you pass out from your
how long are you out?
Yeah, how long are you out for?
A long time.
Oh, okay.
Long time ago.
Thank you, Mr. Ico. I don't think the guy's name is actually Ico, but.
Is there a connection between this game and Ico?
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought that might be the case when I saw the shadow people. What is the connection?
Are we talking story connection or
Story
aesthetic
connection.
connection?
Story connection, yes.
Okay.
Well, what's the connection?
Okay, going into spoiler territory. The girl we're reviving is the blind girl in Ico.
Oh. And who's the boy? Where does
This guy.
So this is just straight up a sequel to Ico?
A prequel, yes.
Oh, a prequel? Oh, okay. So...
Has that been confirmed or outright said?
It's so heavily implied it might as well be.
Okay.
So basically we're setting up... So is the Dark Spirit we're reviving here the bad guy in Ico?
I have not played Ico to know.
Okay.
See, I played enough Ico to know that I enjoy the game. Not enough to actually know what's going on in the story.
Yeah, Ico's a weird kind of... It's good enough, but Shadow of the Colossus does everything it's trying to do so much better. In terms of being, an artistic game anyway.
Yeah, well, in terms of being an artistic game, I would say, but I think I enjoy Ico as a game a bit more, just because, it's a exploration and puzzle-focused adventure game that hits the right spots for me, I would say. Whereas, the main focus...
Platforming!
The main focus here is on, getting from A to B, which doesn't always work out for you, as we can see here, and fighting giant monsters. Essentially, the monsters are the levels, and there's a large hub world between them, if we're talking about gameplay function. So...
Yeah, this is probably the first wall I had when I played the game for the first time. Because this is the first one where you have...
sword one, right?
Yes, this is the one you have to be a bit more clever with and climb on and hit the weak spot.
Yeah.
Or if you got balls of steel, there is another thing you can do, but I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
What can you do?
All right, so the big thing about this Colossus is its sword hand.
Oh, it does have a sword hand.
Yeah.
If it hits the regular ground, it will raise half the ground, kind of square area. And if you're clever enough, you can launch yourself from that and land on top of it.
Yeah.
It's a speedrunning trick, really.
It's a speedrunning tactic. It looks phenomenal if you pull it off.
Hey, I'm an nameless protagonist, and welcome to Jackass.
I would not recommend trying it though.
No, do not do it if it's like if you haven't played this game countless times. I wouldn't. It looks cool as hell though if you pull it off.
Yeah, what the game wants you to do is you're going to have to try to goad him into hitting this circular stone platform I'm currently standing on. That will shatter his armor, and you can now climb up from him after that. The problem is that's not really obvious your first time playing it, because there's nothing that really screams use this. It's just kind of a platform.
Yeah, it also wouldn't look like it would win against a giant sword arm.
Yeah. So my first time playing, I got a bit stumped here for about 15 minutes until the game
Yeah, I
basically
recall
told me to
struggling
use
with this guy too.
This is kind of like asking me to try and shatter a 16-wheeler truck by putting a deer in front of it.
His face is just like, hey man, cut that out. You're shooting arrows at me, and that's very, very rude.
Somehow he missed. But I'm gonna try anyway.
Oh.
Oops.
Ah!
Yeah, see
Almost.
that
my
animation
ankles.
right there.
My leg
When he
bender.
lifts the sword up there, you can launch yourself to his head.
Somehow missed
Jesus,
again.
Wanderer. You're cutting it a little close there, buddy.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
You're running
You
away
have, like,
too
horses.
soon.
Where's my horse?
You only had Wander. You got 2 concussions in the last 3 seconds.
Wow, that is magical. The dirt just absorbs back into the ground.
Yeah.
We need to get some of this magical goddamn
Shrinking
Shadow of the
dirt.
Colossus soil, because it would revolutionize American agriculture forever.
Yeah, but look what it does to the groundskeeper, though.
Nah.
Really hears you. Really don't care.
Well, you know, we're automating everything else. We might as well automate landscaping too. Why not? It's not like our economy needs landscaping jobs.
Yes, Dorman.
Oh, okay. I'll just knock it to the ground. Okay, let me get my let me get my fucking Panzer.
So if you get stuck for too long, he'll help
Start
you.
trying to give you hints. Yeah.
Hey, stupid.
I know what I'm doing. The problem is he's not cooperating.
Well, it's almost like he doesn't want you to break his armor and then die.
Doesn't mean I don't want him to do it.
So basically, what we're fighting right now is a giant bionicle, right?
Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that. At the beginning of the game, when you saw the mask, I'm like, is that a Bionicle mask?
Apparently, Bionicles have like a massive lore.
Dude, from time to time, we'll get somebody who brings up a Bionicle thing. It's like, hey, have you played Bionicle? And I'm like, oh yeah, I played with that toy way back when. Like, because I played with the original Bionicles when I was like 8. And they were like, oh my god, who's your favorite mask? And I'm like, you're saying a bunch
What?
of words and I don't understand what any of them mean right now.
Was that a JoJo reference?
Can you pot shot them with arrows until they die?
No.
Oh, well,
Their
it's
health
taking-
will stop. It will do some damage, but not enough to actually kill them. It will stop doing damage to them after a while.
Okay.
There we go.
Needed
Oh,
to
my
get 'em
hands.
far enough away.
Oh, well, technically, what I'm saying is true, Ted. Once you beat the game and do some other requirements, you can get arrows that will just keep killing them
Oh, okay.
as like a completion bonus thing.
But that sounds like that's not a super fun way to play the game, though.
No, not really. But it's there if you want.
I'm sure somebody's done an arrow-only challenge run.
By the
Probably.
hair on his arm.
Later, we'll be going by the hair of his chinny chin chin.
Yeah.
Wanderer, Wanderer, get off me, please.
No.
No.
You know, if the Colossus really wanted to protect the Dark God's body from being revived and all it would really need to do is get a good waxing, and it would be invincible.
Yeah, yeah, I know. If we run into the bald Colossus, we're fucked.
Yeah, go to the Brazilian waxing studio. Stop it! I'm trying to kill you.
Hey, want to check out my new dance move? I call this one the shimmy.
I'm shimmying up your back, you idiot.
I call this one the please get off my scalp.
No.
I call
It's
this the
time
damn. I
for
really
your
wish I didn't have a
haircut.
sword for a hand. Why?
Climbing them
Why
is
did I
a
ask for a sword
spectacle.
for a hand?
Climbing them is a spectacle, though, I will say.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing I love that the game emphasizes is just the sheer size of the damn thing and using how it uses low angles, and you know, these things aren't quick.
Yeah, I
Like
think
they're big, they're slow.
I
and-
think
but
at the
that just
time of
gives
the
more
original
impact to
game's
their
releases,
movements.
the Colossus had the highest polygon count for any individual quote-unquote thing in a video game at the time.
Yeah, those poor trees, though.
You're not looking at the trees, John. What's interesting is about these areas, once the Colossus fight starts, you are technically in a separate area than the world map.
So if you try to leave, I'm guessing there's like an
You kinda
invisible
just-
wall or something.
Kind of, yeah. There's
Okay.
also a different game space, like, if you look up the Horse Colossus kicking Wanderer into space, you basically see the entire area, the dome area that you're in. You're supposed to be in anyway.
Does that still apply to this version of the game?
Yeah, because the horse kicking one's GIF that you can find a lot is from this version.
It's hilarious too if you're.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Actually, I'll look it up.
it's still probably a useful, even if they could have done it in the same open world, I'm sure that it's useful for CPU resources to have it be in a separate area. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm guessing
And
you
it's-
take
and
fall
it-
damage
What,
in
did
this
you
game.
kill the head
Yes.
already?
Okay.
now, there will be multiple sigils on Colossus sometimes. Not everyone only has one.
I see. You can do them in any order you want, right?
Yeah.
Although, I imagine it's easier to do the head first here because getting
It's
up the
easier
head
to go-
from here
Yeah.
seems troublesome.
Generally, the best idea is to go from the head down, if at all possible. Mind you, not everything is, tall stature-wise. There are some wider ones.
You know,
You called me fat?
when they sealed
you're
the
quite skinny.
Colossus,
Oh, okay.
the evil god,
It's your brothers
within
who
the
are fat.
Colossus and all. Huh? Huh?
Come on. One more.
Dead.
When they sealed the evil god in the Colossus, though, they really should have left some information about exactly what the Colossus were.
Well,
So-
it had been so long that everyone kind of forgot.
Is that, well, how much does the main character know about these? Does he know that he's reviving
doesn't.
an evil? Okay.
Nope.
Alright.
All he knows is that this is the land of the gods, and he's desperate to get his girlfriend or whatever back. And just that the land itself is basically forbidden from entering. That's about it. We really don't know anything about Wander as a person before this.
Well, I mean, he kind of screwed up everything, but, you know.
Yeah. Boo!
Does kind of look like the motherfucking time vortex, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it has to be like the 50s version. So are those things standing over you supposed to be the Colossi you've killed?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, man. That was kind of rude, killing us and shit.
Yeah, well, I want my girlfriend back.
Can't you get a new one of those?
But this one's the best one.
Okay, that's fair.